I'm gonna go ahead and turn this piece of coil spring into a little knife. Alright, I got that coil straightened out. Now it's time to just flatten it into a billet that I can work with. So I got the blade pretty much shaped, but as you can see there, it's a little bit off center. So what I'm going to do is that bottom side needs to come in. So I'm going to set that side against the anvil and whack the other side a couple of times to get sort of that square shelf going, and that's going to hopefully center the blade on that round stock. Then I'm going to straighten out the round stock on the bottom so that I can stuff it into a piece of bamboo for the handle, and then I'm just going to shape the blade, I guess. And heat that blade to where it's about red hot and let it air cool. It's called annealing it. And then I'm going to go ahead and start grinding and doing the rest. A lot of that handle and the blade's going to get cut off. I just wanted a good bit to work with for what I'm doing here. It's just going to make it easier down the road. So I let this sort of billet thing, whatever you want to call it, sit in the sand for a little while to kind of cool off and anneal. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the handle or get that prepped up anyways. And I don't want to do too much grinding on this piece because it's a lot easier to drill this than to grind that. This handle's pretty straight, so I think I'm going to go ahead and just try to bore this hole out on the drill press. This is a little bit smaller than what that stock is right now, so I will have to do a little bit of grinding, but that'll be okay. It'll give me some control to kind of center up the blade in there too. I've got the knife to the point where it mostly fits inside of the bamboo, and that's pretty secure on its own. So I'm going to go ahead and grind this down just a little further, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this to where this just has a stud sticking out, and then I'm either going to tap this or weld a bolt to it that I can thread on there. That way it keeps this pinched in there, and then when I'm finally ready to assemble, I'll just slather a bunch of epoxy on this, put the handle on there, and tighten that nut, hold it real secure, because there's not a whole lot of space for us to wiggle around anyway, so hopefully that works out good. And then once I got the handle for sure on there the way I know it needs to be, I'll go ahead and start on the bevel on them. About how thin I want it. Honestly, I went a little thinner than I should have for that bevel before heat treat, but this is where I want it. That bamboo handle fits on. Now I know I'm time-lapsing, but if you guys have any experience with that Harbor Freight grinder, you'll know that this thing made quick freaking work of it with that new engine on it, so new motor rather. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and figure out what I'm going to do with the pommel. I might actually wait till after heat treat, that way the welds aren't going to mess with anything, or sorry, the welds aren't going to be messed with by the heat treating process, because I don't want that to crack. That's what's going to be holding the handle on. So what I'm thinking I might do is just tap this for a big old nut to be threaded on the bottom. Maybe I'll do something decorative with it. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, please like and subscribe. Went ahead and welded this little washer there. I put the welds underneath, so now I need to chamfer the hole on here so that covers the welds, and then go ahead and put these threads right here. I'm either going to weld this to the bottom, or I'm going to drill a hole in this and have it bolt on to lock it in place, but I'm also going to slather the handle with epoxy just as like an added, thing there, and then that way the handle's kind of serviceable too, I guess. Really happy with the way that motor swap turned out on the grinder. But anyways, I got that both bevels ground in real good, and I kind of wanted to leave some forge marks on the spine of it. I got a little bit aggressive on the vac here, but they are even now. I didn't get that perfectly even on the forge, just why it's kind of uneven there, but looks pretty good. I'm just gonna kind of go ahead and put the finishing touches on it, grind up the handle and whatnot. Alright, so I've got the ring all ground down, handle all disassembled. It's looking good when it's put together. I'll probably grind down that net and threads at the very end just to make it like a rounded look, and then maybe tack it on there. Maybe I'll tack it on there first, I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and do the boring part and throw it in an oven and wait for a long time. I believe to be 51C. It came from a coil spring, if you remember. Anyways, it's very forgiving with the heat treating process, I've noticed. This is almost my last read from these springs or coil springs. These springs are different, but they're not the same. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, set it to the highest setting, because the highest marked setting is 450. I don't know if that's goes higher or what, but step away, and then I'll set the alarm for probably an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then come back to it. The reason I did all the grinding beforehand, it would have been easier if I tempered it first, but I want to have that sort of like rainbow look from the distressed metal, having it heat treated. It'll probably come out mostly brown anyways, but maybe I'll be able to torch it and make it a different color, we'll see. Hey guys, so I kind of goofed a little bit. I took the thumbnail picture and then promptly gave it to somebody as a gift, and totally forgot to take an outro video of the finished product. So unfortunately, the only photos or evidence I have of this thing done is going to be the thumbnail. I'll try to get it back at some point to do a hardness test anyways, just so I have that as something that I can show you guys how to do. But yeah, I did forget that. Sorry, thumbnail's the best I got. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you have one for the rest of your day. God bless.